Willkommen, bienvenue, welcome to day 17 of the Warboss May Painting Challenge 2015. I'm your host, Takiyan, and this is the star performer of the evening, the Space Marine Librarian. Watch him dance. No, on the other hand, let's not watch him dance, that's annoying. So if you saw yesterday's video, you will note the slight change that has happened in the sword. In fact, when I watch this, it looks more drastic on camera than in person. What I did was I thought the change from the yellow lightning to the bluish tint on the blade was sort of abrupt and unexplained. It didn't fit, so I added a wash of, no, actually a glaze of Lamenter's yellow to it. This gave it kind of a greenish tinge to the blade instead, which still, I don't know how, there is no science behind this, but it seems to follow some sort of color logic anyway, that yellow, lightning, blue shadows, and then green, it sort of blends together. Anyway, I'm going to call this guy done. I'm going to say that bar the varnishing and assembly, I don't need to do anything more on him. So let's put him aside, and let's bring in his decapitated foe. Some sort of, let's see if we can focus. No? You don't want to focus? Okay. Well, it's in focus there, but it's pretty small. I did the bone, I did the metallics, and you know, I'm not going to worry anymore about him. So he's done too, and that leaves only this base, which I'm going to paint today, and I will finish up today by varnishing everything, and tomorrow will be assembly and final little detailing. But before I start on this, here is a message from, I don't know, from me about something else. It's unboxing time! And I got a box of stuff from Reaper Miniatures, including the, you can't see it very well here, the 2015 ReaperCon Sophie special limited edition model, a sci-fi version of their mascot sculpted by Kev White. And you can't see it because of the base, and I'm not going to open it right now, unfortunately. So this is the main reason I ordered directly from them this time. Side note, if you live outside the US and want to buy Reaper Miniatures, it's usually not a good idea to buy directly from them, but sometimes you have to. For example, this was a limited time availability, and the Christmas themed minis I've shown you before, they were also only available direct from them. And I filled up the order with stuff because they have this offer where if you order for €70, it's free shipping. So I got, for example, some paints. These are what they call the clear brights, which, as I understand it, are like glazes. These are just ordinary colors, and we have some more darker glaze colors, and I got the liners, which are used for lining. Supposedly better than normal paint for doing dark outlines around parts of the mini, somehow. Well, I will try them out and see. Why is it a bad idea? Well, because even though you get free shipping, something about how they ship stuff means that they always get caught in customs, and I always have to pay import and sales tax, which drives up the cost quite a lot. But while I was ordering and I was filling up this order to get to that €70 level, I saw that in their Chronoscope and Savage Worlds lines, they had some minis that were perfect to represent the player characters in my Call of Cthulhu campaign I'm running. For example, we have here the reporter with a very old school type of camera. And one of the characters is, in fact, a journalist and photographer. So, how appropriate. We have here the priest who has, actually, seems to have a choice of items here. He's missing his left hand, but you can put either a book or some sort of cup or big gem. I think it's a huge gem. Yeah, I'm gonna go with a book. It's gonna be a Bible. Because there is a priest among the characters who is, quite devout. So that's him. Oh, and a base for somebody. Interesting that they have these lip spaces. I haven't noticed that before with Reaper. They tend to use the normal, 25 mil bases, not these lip pretty mils. Anyway, what have we have here? The Pulp Investigator. A guy in a trench coat and a flashlight and a pistol. This is perfect for the police detective in the group. And something fell over. No matter, I'll pick it up later. Finally, the fourth character is a jazz musician and believer in voodoo, which is hard to translate into miniature. So I got this sort of generic dude who is, I don't know what he's holding. He's holding a sort of staff of some sort. Or is it a big torch? I don't know what this thing is supposed to be. And he has a choice of right hands with either a revolver or a flashlight. I think I'm going to go with a flashlight just to encourage my players to be a bit more peaceful and not charge violently into every situation. Anyway, those four are on the fast track to getting prepped and painted as my stretch goal for this challenge. I will start those up as soon as humanly possible to take up the slack from the finished Space Marine. And I'm sort of teasing him here. Well, back to your normally scheduled program. I want to apologize about something in that last clip. When I played it back, I realized that opening those blister packs made so much noise you couldn't hear me talking. I didn't realize that would happen. Seems the microphone is on the front of the camera and I'm talking from behind it. Anyway, lesson learned. In any future unboxings, I will pre-cut the packaging so it can be opened soundlessly. Anyway, I wanted to give you an update on these guys. The bases are supposed to look like some sort of dirty, sandy desert. I don't think they look all that great, but I'm not sure what to do with them. I don't know if I care. I've gone in with a black wash on the exposed parts where the bones or sort of shriveled husk of the mummy would peek through the bandaging, because if you've ever seen a mummy in a museum, that's what they look like. They're all blackened and shriveled. But I want to have otherworldly glowing eyes on them. So I've gone in and dotted the eyes with white. And on top of that, I'm going to add a coat of Tamiya Clear Red, which is it's about the only Tamiya colors I use are the clears. And they look kind of like this. They're very, very liquidy. And they smell very different to other paints. And I'm just going to, let me switch glasses. And I'm going to go in and dot the eyes of this guy with this. And there. Don't know if that comes across very well, but it looks nice in person. And also when I'm finished with these and I've varnished them, I'm gonna matte varnish most of it, of course, but go in and put gloss on just the eyes to make them pop even more. While I do the other guys, I can talk about the question of the day. The question of the day is, if you could make a miniatures war game either completely original or taking existing intellectual property, what would it be? Be as detailed as you'd like. Well, that is simple. The IP I would choose to make a war game from is Glorantha. Or Glorantha, depending on how you think it should be pronounced. What is Glorantha, you might wonder? Well, it would take too long to explain. Google it. It's spelled Glorantha. It is one of the oldest IPs around for war games and role-playing games. It's never had a miniature game around it. It's had several board games and a lot of different role-playing games that take place in Glorantha. And I just love that world. I've been a dedicated fan of it for the longest time. Now, switching to the base, I just want to screw this on. It's a screw top lid, so you have to make sure it's really, really tight. I want this stuff to dry out. Put that brush away. I'm going to clean it a bit better later. Now, for this base, my idea, as I've mentioned, is sort of a faded mosaic. So I've chosen colors that are not the brightest. And I'm going to try to apply them sort of very thinly. For example, here. Well, that was a bit too thick, because I don't want to cover up too much, and I don't want to go over the black lines. And I'm doing this yellow, as you can see, in a sort of pie pattern. My idea was that this circle, these circular patterns, I think this is a sun and the rest is a sky. So I'm thinking yellows and oranges here in the middle, and blues and maybe purples furthest out. And let's do that. I'm not sure if I want to add any more, how many colors I want to use, but I'm gonna go with this for a while and see what happens. Yeah, I'm gonna, you don't need to see all of this being done. I'm gonna keep working at it, and I will be back when more has been accomplished. So after painting for a while, this is what I've come up with. You saw me put on some of the pale yellow when I started out, and the orange is orange fire. Actually, it's orange fire over a coat of pale yellow, because I've mentioned some of the game color yellows and oranges cover really badly. This one covers like water. It's hopeless. The pale yellow is actually one of the better ones. It covers pretty well. Then we had a couple of blues. We had sky blue from model color and glacier blue from game color. And the purples are dark blue and hexed lichen. Now, after that, I did a light dry brushing of white all over it to get it to dampen the colors down, bring it all together, make it seem faded. And now I want to add some shade to it. So what I did was, again, I'm going to experiment. This might ruin the whole effect. This is Arm Painted Dark Tone. I used the strong tone before, which was, as I said, equivalent to Acrex Earthshade. Some people say this is Nuln Oil. It's not quite. It's not exactly black. It is an extremely dark brown with some black in it. And I have mixed up in the proportions of 2 drops of my water and flow improver mixture to 1 part of the dark tone ink, just to get it really, really light wash, because I don't want to make this all look black. And let's see what happens. This dirties the whole thing down a little bit, just, and tones everything, makes it look as, this is a floor that's maybe been exposed to the elements a bit. People have been walking on it, dragging in crap and not sweeping the floors. Yeah, and you can have some, it doesn't have to be even. I can take the remains and just splotch it on here. Make it look dirty. Yeah. I'm kind of happy with that. Again, I'm going to clean up with some black around the rim, then go for varnish, and then we will be done. And tomorrow we will be at the finale of the Librarian. Join me then for the exciting conclusion to this part of the challenge. This is Dakiyan, signing off.